Brotherhood of the Bush, Fieldcraft, Tops knives out of Idaho. One hit, that thing's taking it out. You can tell a lot about an individual by the size of the knife they carry. Bob, if you've got one knife, I highly recommend this one. Just picked this up from Blade HQ. Took it out once before. I honestly have never been more impressed with a single knife. If I had one knife to do everything, this would be it. This knife is large enough that you can use it to chop, but it's small enough that you can use it to gut, skin, and fish. Nice Kydex sheath comes with it, and you know, it's kind of hard to run a sheath while you're wearing a backpack like this, but it has the rotating clip on it so you can rotate it around on your belt. Worked very well for there. It also has this spring retention clip on there, so rather than having to take my belt off to put the knife on, I can just put that right on. But again, I've got one knife to take care of everything for me, so we're just going to do a little bit of chopping on here. We'll show you how this works. I'm going to back up on the hilt of it a little bit. I've got my lanyard, so if it slips, I'll be able to catch it with that cord right there. I'm going to just take a couple hits with this. That is why I like that knife. That cut almost as good as that big Ontario machete. That is an excellent cut. Bob knife's been hacking branches, came right up underneath. To get in to the skin, easy. 2 fingers underneath, making sure that I don't nick myself. This knife, after cutting all of those limbs, is able to come in and do kind of fairly delicate skinning work and still cut meat with a nice clean cut. All right, so that's clean, or skinned. Now we're going to go ahead and open him up. It's just a good, healthy looking animal. We're good to go. Again, I can't tell you how much I really like that knife. All right, I can use that as a baton. There's a log over here I want to chop. What's great about this knife is I have no qualms about just taking it into a log like this and hitting it as hard as I possibly can. Take a look at how clean that cut is from that knife. Everything we've done, still going clean on there. That bob holds its edge nicely. What I'm going to do is just make a starter hole for the spindle a little bit closer to the edge so you can cut a notch into it, try and get it over there. And I just want to kind of bore the base piece out. And again, that's one of the reasons why I like this knife. You look at the shape of the blade coming down into here, I can get a good size hole bored out into there. And then from here, I'm going to want to just cut a notch so that once we get it going and smoking, that ember or burning punk, we can drop that out into some of the grasses and things that we found yesterday. Again, you've seen how much chopping and abuse this knife has taken, but yet it can still cut that notch out of there very nicely. And I like that it has divots on both sides so that if you want to use it as the top for your spindle while making the bow drill, you'll be able to put that on the top of your spindle and then just hold that down and apply pressure to keep it into there. So, you know, a lot of smart designs on that. They did in the Kydex sheath, they put a magnesium fire starter in, and if you notice the top of the knife, the way that it's grooved in here, a lot of guys will go buy a brick or a bar of the magnesium with a striker on the one side, and then they'll just take whatever knife they have, and I've seen guys use the blade of their knife to shave off. The guys at B.O.B obviously are top knives, obviously figured it out, put a nice divot into there, and this is actually sharp on the end here. So if I want to, I can just shave down the magnesium, and you can see the bits of it just scraping off into there, and then I could put that into my bird's nest or fire starter, still having it onto there, and then you can still use that portion to get a nice strike down on and work off of that. Okay, so I was talking about 2 days of abuse with this knife. Just taking a little bit of paper, and I have yet to have sharpened that blade, and it's still cutting after all the abuse that you've seen. That, for one knife to do all things, I've never been more impressed.